So what are your thoughts about Microsoft's GitHub acquisition? And yet again, here's another week of Amy Codes. So I wouldn't do that to y'all. I'm not going to talk about Microsoft's GitHub acquisition and give you like a shitty hot take about that. What I actually want to talk to you about was this past week there was a pretty controversial tweet related to GitHub and GitHub projects, and I'm going to go ahead and read that. GitHub is the de facto source for validating top talent over the world. Resume or CV? Please, show me your GitHub profile, commits you've landed, projects you've forked, code you've released. So I have a lot of feels about that tweet, and let me go ahead and tell you what that tweet translates to me. It says, if you do not have a GitHub profile or projects on your GitHub profile, then that means you are excluded from our company's candidate pool. This to me is a huge problem, and I want to say to that original tweeter, check your privilege. Y'all, people don't have GitHub projects on their public profile unless they have one of two things. One, they have a job where they contribute to open source full time, or two, they have time after work to contribute to open source or start their own projects. Saying that you filter candidates based off of your GitHub profile is extremely exclusionary and doesn't allow really qualified candidates to come into your candidate pool that may not have that privilege or resources in terms of time to be able to contribute to projects on their public profile. So people talk about diversity and inclusion a lot, and to me that conversation is super important, but if we really care about those topics and we really want to make sure that we have a diverse candidate pool set, what we really need to talk about is that we need to be able to include people who are not able to code unless they're being paid to do so. Y'all, I do not code unless I'm paid to do so. So what this means is if I talk to my manager and I'm able to contribute to upstream Kubernetes, for instance, or I'm able to contribute to an open source project, that means I've carved out work time to do so. I do not code outside of work for my own personal reasons. It's because I need to make sure that my career is sustainable. I don't want to get burned out too quickly because that just overall reduces productivity for myself. If you do feel like you have the mental capacity to code outside of work, that's great for you, but I just don't want that to be something to exclude extremely qualified people like myself from your candidate pool. Now, does this mean that if you do have projects to display on your GitHub profile that it should not be considered as part of your evaluation to be hired at the company? That's debatable. I think that depending on your contribution to an open source project, depending on the project that you create, maybe this could be a positive signal, but it definitely shouldn't be a negative signal to exclude you from the candidate pool if you do not have projects on your public GitHub profile. So those are just some thoughts that I had about building a healthy candidate pool, and one specific factor that a lot of people talk about as to whether or not what kind of signal that GitHub profile should be in terms of hiring candidates. As always, please subscribe to my channel if you like the content that I create, and also hit the like button. If you want to see more of my posts as they are being released, hit the notifications button. Because of YouTube's algorithms, you will not be notified about my videos unless you hit the notifications button. So please do that. And yeah, I will see you all next week. Thank you. Bye.